Hi, so last time I was here, I expressed some concern about what was going on in the police department. I sent you all an email. I was dining out and I had heard some village employees talking about some kind of serious safety issues regarding the transfer of duties from the in-house call center to a outside dispatch call center, and because the new call center does not have historical records of the various calls prior to the date of their hire, they're not able to do what our in-house dispatchers were able to do, which was to give officers information while they're en route to a residence, see if there's any history of domestic violence, things like that. The new, so Chief Dunn had assigned it to the records department, and there's a Channel 2 radio or some kind of a, I guess it's a radio that sits on the desk. And the new staff, the staff that's there has never been trained in how to access these various databases that the dispatch was able to. So one story in particular was very disturbing. The records clerk, they either ignore the call, is from what I overheard in this restaurant setting, or they, because they haven't been trained, they're unable to get the information. There was one situation, they were on their way to a domestic, and there was a man with a knife that was, the officer was waiting at the front door to get the information from records who have not been trained, and the offender was able to flee out the backyard by the time they got the information they needed. So it's just, it's a matter of officer safety. I was very saddened to hear a lot of petty employment labor talk when this is really about officer safety. And I've come to learn later that some of these records clerks are actually married to law enforcement, so this really horrified me, that they were sitting idly, angry that their pay did not increase when they got added duties. That really, really disturbed me, because we lost an Officer Dawson. I believe it was, I don't know if it was 86. I just graduated high school with a domestic. That just really, there's no room for that. So that is really more to the employees than to you. But I just, insofar as the supervisory roles, I've reached out to Al Steffen, and I was, disappointed I didn't get much back. But this training, they need to be trained. So they're complaining about the duties. They're either ignoring the calls, but the same ones are also asking for overtime on the weekends for a job they claim they can't do, and that's their excuse for ignoring Channel 2. So these officers, from what I could hear, they're having other officers that are in other cruisers in town try to look it up in their computer in the vehicle, and if they're not occupied, they can do it, but it's sometimes they're busy with other citizens helping them. So it's just really, I'm just worried about someone getting hurt. Both are officers and, people who are in crisis not getting the same services we had with our in-house dispatch center that, had the whole history. Now I know the new Northwest dispatch has come to train on their system, and that's fine for the current and her history being created, but the in-house people and records don't have. Kathy, apparently, from what I heard, she's not trained them. She says she's got too many of her own duties, but she's their boss, so she's the one that's evaluating them. How can she evaluate them if she's not trained them? So I would just really like to see that get done. I don't want to see another officer get hurt. They need that. If there's a history of weapons, or before they walk into a hot situation, I'd like them to have the information they need. So I'm hoping that Mr. Svandilis, whatever the chain of command is, since you're over the police department, and Al Steffen is, I don't know, do something. Just get them trained. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson.